Hi, welcome to week 2 of the Magoos Corner. I'm your host, Trevor Greencourt, joined by Andrew Graham from the Kilburn Footy Club. Welcome aboard, Trev.
Thanks for having me, Trevor.
So what we'll do now is we'll go through the results from round 1 for Division 1 reserves and also have a look at next week's game. So starting off, we had Trevor versus Adelaide Uni. With the scores in the end, Adelaide Uni 10-6, 66, Trevor 7-7, 49. Now that's a very surprising result for me.
I would have thought that was surprising based off last year's results, especially at Campbelltown Oval. I thought Trevor would be far too strong.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, compared to what we come up against last year, and you felt it firsthand, really. I thought, Trevor would definitely get the job done there, so it was a great result for Adelaide Uni.
Trevor has some very good players in there too, like Chris Ash. He's a very good player. And I see there's an O'Malley in there who's probably good, given his brothers are pretty good, or other O'Malleys are good. So it's a surprising result. I don't really think Adelaide University are that strong in the B group these days.
No, I mean they've still got 26 teams to their regime, so they've always got the depth, and they did a number on our C grade also last week by a couple of goals, but definitely a surprising result there, and should hold Uni in good stead for next week. Now, the other one was what I thought was going to be match of the round, which was the Goodwood Saints versus Tea Tree Gully at Goody Saints. The results there were a little bit inaccurate, 11-12, 78 to Tea Tree Gully, 6-4, 40. Now, I think for me, I'm going to call it early, Goodies will go again.
So I don't know why you thought it'd be match of the round. I thought Goodwood would have won by more. They're unbelievable in the twos, and it's quite surprising how they managed to hold on to so many of their players year after year and not lose them to country clubs who might offer them a bit of coin.
No, that's it. And the reason why I said match was just due to Tea Tree Gully keeping a lot of their players from last year in their ones, and the words were that they've managed to get a couple of boys in there too. So I thought it was good, and I think Damo said the same thing last week, that Goodies will get the job done, but it'll be a cracker game. But I think it'll be just same old for Goodies this year, and they'll just keep soldiering through, I think. Next round we had, this one has got, I'm quite happy with this one, but Port Districts versus Payneham down at Larg, so it's a fairly decent task to go down there and play Districts. But in the end it was Payneham 10-6, 66 to Districts 8-6, 54, so good work for Payneham, for George and his boys out there, so great result.
Yeah, it's always good. We don't like the dizzy flogs, so good on Payneham for getting up. I guess Paynham's B grade's a bit of an unknown quantity coming up to Div 1 reserves this year, and it'll be a tough ask for them because there's some good teams getting around Div 1 reserves, like your Goodwoods and Henleys and Trevors, so it'll be a big challenge for them.
Absolutely. The same things, you've got the same guys for districts getting in the best players and goal kickers, so is it that time where it's just the constant same old story? Well, time will tell, I suppose, but great work for George and Macca and his boys out of there at Payneham. Next one was Sacred Heart versus Henley. So this was actually out at Sacred Heart Senior Oval, so it was 9-10-64 to Henley's 7-9-51. And we got Henley this week, so I was really interested to see this result.
Yeah, well, of course, Portland almost beat Henley in the twos last year, which was it was disappointing not to get up, but it was a very close result and probably one of Portland's better games. So I imagine as coach you're looking forward to playing Henley this year and maybe going a bit better. But Sacred Heart have been a good football school for a long time, so it's not surprising to see them have a good B grade. But I heard this year their B grade's playing at a different oval to their A grade. Might just be barking up the wrong tree, obviously, this week.
No, I've heard the same thing.
Rumour I heard.
No, and the same thing. And Damo said that this would be Battle of the Pretty Boys last week with Sacred Heart and Henley.
Oh, there'd be some fresh salad getting around there, some nice haircuts.
Absolutely, there is. And for me, I think the last year in that round 18 game, Homer kicked the goal with 15 seconds left on the siren, that was a devastating effect on us, but no, you're right, we are definitely looking for a better result this year, but we didn't start too well. My boys headed out to Salisbury North on Saturday in what I thought was going to be worse conditions, but it ended up being okay. It was roughly around about 2:30, 3 o'clock that the weather started setting in and getting stuck into the A grade side, but Unfortunately, Salisbury North 15-16, 106 to Milan's 2-6-18, so not a good result. So we'll probably move on to what's happening next week if you want.
Well, no, I had some questions about this game, Trevor. First of all, what are Salisbury North's B grade like? Because last year they were pretty average. They weren't a very strong team at all. But the year before that, of course, they made the grand final and lost to Goodwood in the grand final. So are Salisbury North up and about this year, or are they average again and you guys are shocking?
No, I'd probably say, for me, when looking at through their team sheet and looking at what has happened with clearances and who they know, so there was 13 players in their A-grade team sheet, so which had a massive flow-on effect to our guys. Extremely well drilled, and you'll have to forgive me, but what they actually did to us was quite impressive, and I really do think from what we've come up against in the past that they will be extremely competitive. So you had just numbers around the footy and just grunt, absolute grunt.
Well, and there must be some question marks at Portland. What is going on when Jason Druitt is playing C grade? Why isn't he putting his hand up to play in the twos and even push for selection in the ones?
Probably just a little bit of extra baggage this year, I think, because he's had a good off season.
Are they the man boobs you were telling me about before the show started?
That is a distinct. I've got no comment any further on it, but it's he's put his hand up to be captain of the C grade, but it's going to be a co-captain scenario this year.
Well, I think it's disgraceful that JD's limited himself to playing C grade. I don't think that's good enough. And the same can be said for Stewie Umpherson. I know he's a professional Tinder, I don't know what you call it, person.
He's got a hot list or something, like a premium user.
The amount of data he must chew through on Tinder and going on Tinder dates is unbelievable. But is he too busy on Tinder this year to push for selection in the ones?
Actually caught up with Stuart on the weekend, bumped into him at Westlake with 4 fresh bags of clothing. So it is a full-time job for him on top of his other work and other commitments. So
and taking those amount of selfies with puppies, babies, finding puppies and babies to that number of puppies and babies to take different selfies with must take up a lot of his time. So I guess he can't come to training that often.
Well, the funny thing is he is looking very brown, so it would be one of those funny tanning booths or something. I think he actually has one set up in a spare room. But we'll bring that up again as we go through the year, because if somebody's extremely dark during a winter sport, well then we know the reason why.
And who were the best players? It's not on the website who Portland's best players were. Was the Gooch Duke from up there, or Robbie Frick, who's a very good player?
Yeah, absolutely. So we'll stop naming my players to go on the internet because they won't be going anywhere. But no, they were good. They were just running, so they're part of our core group. So they were pretty impressive.
And I can just say, looking at the Salisbury North players, there's a Mick Hood in there, Sonny Gregan, Chris Motley, all guys who've played a lot of A-grade footy around the joint. So maybe they're going to be quite a strong team this year.
They will be, definitely. So looking on to this week, we have, which would probably be another good game. Once again, we've got Goodwood Saints versus Salisbury North at Goodwood Oval, so getting a couple of games in a row.
Can't go past Goodwood, but if Salisbury North have got those calibre of guys running around in the twos and getting the best players, they might be in with the shot.
The weather's meant to be pretty full on the weekend, 17 inch showers. I think they've forecasted at the moment, but for me, Goodwood Saints as well, they'll just have too much run on the outside. This week we've got Henley versus my boys at Henley Memorial Oval. Hard oval to play on when the weather's as bad as what they're predicting, but...
Yeah, well, my heart says Portland, and I'd love the Portland boys to get up, but it seems that there's been a few people leaving the club, and that's filtered down to hurt the B grade. And I've heard Shane Catterall, who I've sponsored this year, is getting dropped this week to the B grade, so he might have the big full forward in the twos, but you can't go past Henley here.
So that's another one that's come out of another cat out of the bag. But for me, yeah, definitely can't go past your home side. It's going to be a brilliant day. Henley put on a really good show for Anzac Day. We don't know what they're doing at the moment. But yeah, hopefully my boys can get the job done.
And good luck to Shane Catterall this week in the twos. If you don't kick a bag, I will withdraw my sponsorship.
Now we have Payneham Nord Union versus Ros Trevor at Payneham Oval. I'm looking forward to this one.
Well, TJ said his boys, Payneham, are a lock-in, but they're going to get flogged this week. Coming off a loss, Ros Trevor will win by 15 goals.
Well, they actually played Ros Trevor in a trial 2 weeks ago, just a week before the season started, and it was Ros Trevor got up in the end from memory. But I do believe Ross Trevor will win, but it'll definitely be a good game. Looking on, we've got Tea Tree Gully versus Port Districts at Peteringa Oval.
Don't really care, but Tea Tree Gully will win.
For me, Tea Tree Gully comfortably. And we have now Adelaide Uni versus Sacred Heart at Uni Oval.
Seeing as they both won last week, this might be game of the round. It'll be a draw. Some of the uni boys might have some fresh haircuts as well. So
more salad.
More fresh salad, and yes, can't wait for Sacred Heart to play a proper team. They've got short back and sides to see how they go against some tough footballers. Well,
from all reports, is Adelaide Uni's oval has been redone and it's in brilliant condition. For me, Sacred Heart also. So that's Division 1 for round 2. We'll catch you again next week.